Samoa Joe versus Adam Page at AEW Full Gear for the AEW World Championship. And this was a steel cage match. So, overall, with this match, it was 16 minutes. Adam Page dominated for the majority of this match. And then eventually we got the interference from Shibata. Page was able to stop him. And then Power Hobbs came in. Page was able to stop Hobbs. And then eventually Hook came in, and it seemed like Hook was trying to wake up the referee. And then Hook ended up hitting Adam Page with the championship. And then Samoa Joe got up and hit his finisher and got the 1-2-3. And he is the new champion. He's the new champion. So with this match, I wasn't crazy about it. The match was just, I don't know, because this show, I was not a fan of it. I don't think it was a good match. I think it was a bad match overall. And the fact that Adam Page dominated for the majority of the match, just most of the match, and then, Joe got some stuff in, but it was just that Joe looked so weak in this match. And one thing I noticed about this show, this pay-per-view, for most of the matches, the wrestler or wrestlers who would dominate the match or matches, they would end up losing eventually. So I noticed that. And I feel like because the show, it was what, 4 hours and 25 minutes, although the main event didn't go for a long time, it only went for 16 minutes. The show dragged at times, and it just went on and on. And then also with Samoa Joe versus Adam Page, Joe, he started, there was blood within the first minute or maybe first 2 minutes. So Adam Page was able to make Joe bleed right away. And then there was just too much blood. And then so in the main event, when you see Samoa Joe bleeding, it's like, oh, there's just another wrestler bleeding. It doesn't mean anything. So I just wasn't really crazy about this match. And then eventually, Swerve, after this match, Joe was celebrating with the other wrestlers, the indie wrestlers, and people that were in his dungeon or whatever. And Swerve comes out. He comes out with a new song. I feel like why? I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about that song. I feel like he should have kept his other song. So he comes out. He's staring at Joe. Joe gets out of the ring, and Swerve beats up all the other indie wrestlers. I am sick and tired of seeing, a bunch of guys getting beat up by one person. It's starting to get old. I can see if you're like someone like the Big Show and you beat up like 4 smaller guys, but it's just overdone. So I just wasn't crazy about this, but I feel like the right guy won, that being Samoa Joe. Adam Page as a champion, it was getting old, it was getting stale, and it was time to move on. I think Samoa Joe is just better on the mic. He's a better wrestler. And with Adam Page, I will say this because Moxley was a champion before Page, and Adam Page is just so much better than Moxley as the champion. I will give him that. But other than that, Adam Page as a champion does not work for me. It's just his promos they just seem phony and fake and just not good. The delivery was always off. I just never really got into the storylines with Adam Page. I don't know. And I know some stuff people online were like, oh my God, I can't believe Page lost the match. And I feel like, it is a good thing that Tony did take the championship off of Page. And from what I saw, I was watching a video earlier, and the video was saying that pretty much Adam Page, with Adam Page losing, this was in the works for some time, and there's they have a grand plan or something. I don't know. I hope that Samoa Joe is the champion for a few months. 7 months, 8 months, even a year. I want to see how. Maybe not a year, but maybe about 8 months. Let's see. Please take care and have a good one.